G'day, g'day. Welcome to Graves in Australia Diecast Salvage. Today, I hope to do some justice to today's castings, which are two Nash Ramblers from Dinky Toys. One is the 173, which is the over-painted one here, and the Fire Chief's vehicle, Rambler. It has no number on it. So, if you want to know, use the internet and look it up. That's if you have internet access, which I currently do not have. As you watch these castings go around on the turntable, I'd like to thank the returning friends of the channel. If you are a first-time viewer, I hope you stay. Subscribe and share what sometimes a bumbling old fart like me gets up to, trying to give old diecast toys a new lease of life. This channel is geared to the hobbyist. What I do is not always perfect, but at least I'm giving it a go. Just remember, if I can do it, so can you. And probably you can do it better than me. Oh yeah. Please, leave a comment down below, even if it's just to say hello. So now, let's take a closer look at today's offerings. The decks are cleared, and here we have our two Ramblers. The Fire Chief vehicle is missing its beacon. It does have the window unit in there. I'll hold it upside down so we can have a look at it. It seems to be in one piece, which is good. It has 4 rubber boots on it, and it does say Fire Chief on there. Down the bottom it says Dinky. It says Nash Rambler, Dinky Toys, Meccano Limited, made in England. But I don't see a number stamped on the bottom. Casting otherwise is in good condition, minus its paint in some areas, but it's a loved toy. Now let's have a look at this one. This one has a number of 173 stamped up the front there. Nash Rambler, Dinky Toys, Meccano Limited, made in England. No rubber tyres. The front axle is bent. It has been over-painted. And this one does have a window unit as well in there. Seems to be in one piece. Does have some paint on it, but I'm not seeing any cracks, but we'll see what happens when we pull it apart and get the glass out. Speaking of pulling it apart, that's our next sequence. We'll see you there. Okay, I may have my things together. We'll start off with our over-painted Nash Rambler. One post, and it hooks through where the number plate should be on the rear. Now I've taken the burr tool on my rotary tool and just ground down the post head so that we can lift off the base. There's our hook on the back. The window unit is held in by a post. In this case it wasn't, but we'll take it out. does have a crack from it being pressed in, but that's as far as the crack goes. So that should be able to clean up. No interior. And by the colour that's on the inside, this looks like it used to be the salmon pink with the blue inner stripe in there. But being on my channel, it's not going back to that colour. So let's have a look at the fire chief car. We're going to retire it. Same thing. Lift it out. Hook on the back. Clean that up separately. This one I did use the burr tool to grind down the post so that we can take the window unit out. Again, this has a crack down the centre, but it has not transferred to the ends. Now they are two different window units, in that the fire chief one has the extra hole down the front for the beacon to go through. So should you want to replace a window unit, be careful which one you go for. If it's the fire chief one, you'll need to ask for the fire chief window unit. Again, no interior, and this is a pinky red. We're going for a different colour because we're retiring it from the fire department. Alright, we'll move on to the next scene. See you there. I do love my 3D printing when it works. So consequently, we're over here at my computer to set up some wheels and tyres for one of the Nash Ramblers. So I've already downloaded some rims and tyres. We're going to open up the slicing program. The one that I use is chit box or shit box. And here are my tyres and rim. So I'll bring out the tyre first. As you'll see here, just a plain old tyre. And we'll bring in the rim. There is the rim for it. So we'll move that to the centre, and I'll turn the collision detector off. So that looks all right. We can separate them out. We'll come over to the right hand side of the screen. We'll go to supports. Well, before we do that, you're wrong, Michael, you're wrong. Change it to an angle. For these we can put 45. That's better. Same thing with the tyre. Might as well do it here now. 45. Then go there, done. Alright, now we go over to the supports on that way. You didn't see what I did over here. I'll get back to that. We go over to supports. auto support, which gives us that. So when we look at the tyre, we're supported all round, which is good. Bring that back to home. We go over to the right hand side of the screen again up the top here, so that we can make adjustments. We're going to need 4 tyres, so we go copy at the top here. We go copy, we want another 3. We click on apply. 3 done the supports for us, which is great. So I'm just going to highlight those. We're going to auto layout. So they're all down one side. Going to do the same thing with our rim. We go back over to the right hand side. Go to supports. I use medium. Auto support, which gives us this. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Auto support, fine with that. We change back over to here. So everything comes back into view again. And while that is highlighted, again we go over to copy. We want 3. And we now have 4 rims, 4 tyres. Highlighting the 4 rims. Layout. We can put them in the center, or Control A. There we go. They're all now in the center. We can get rid of that. We now go to the bottom right hand part of the screen where we do what's called slicing. All this is telling us which resin I'm using, and it's the setting, because I've got more than one resin. That is the slicing now. It's writing the layer height, layer thickness, what we're printing, and into a language that the 3D printer understands. It's like when you type a Word document or a spreadsheet, when you send it to your inkjet or laserjet printer, it conforms it to a language that printer understands. 3D printer is the same thing. All right, so it's done the slicing. We now need to do what's called a island detect. It may find some, it may not. Just waiting for the computer to catch up. It's at 80%, just about. There we go, 90. There we go. Okay, as you see on the right hand side of the screen here, it says it has detected islands. It's found 13 of them, and it is a reddish crimson colour. I'll enlarge this for you, and I'll orientate this for you as well. Bring it in so they are matching. So we're going to go to the top of the 13th. And while this is all white, it is all good. These dots here are the supports. And what it is saying is that, well, we're not attached to the model. So we're just going to go down the list a little bit. So this is all mainly supports, where it's saying that we have a problem, but there is no problem. It hasn't touched the model. If you see something on here which is the same color as this, that is when you need to really look at where it's going to on your model. But as this is fine, we can save the file to wherever we want to. In my case, it will be in the YouTube folder. Oops, wrong one. Sorting, Nash Rambler, and tyres. So it will go into there. It's now converting everything over into the language that the 3D printer understands. I don't need to open the folder again. And all I need to do is copy that file onto a thumb drive, stick it in my printer, and press print. The next scene that you'll see will be the reveal, because it's going to take 1 hour and 4 minutes to print. It'll take another 15-20 minutes to go through the wash and cure. The cost for this was 85 cents for 4 tyres and rims. And because I've used the flexible resin and put its price in, if I used the standard resin, instead of being 85 cents, it might have come down to about 15 cents. If that. Okay, so we'll catch you at the reveal. See you there. This is just a reminder as to what I started with at the beginning of today's episode. And here we are. Now, here we are with my 2 Dinky Toys Nash Ramblers. One was a Canadian police fire car, decommissioned and made into civilian use. The other was the pink with blue stripe, but it had lost most of its colours, so we've recreated something different. You should be seeing a photo about now for the inspiration of the pink vehicle with the white stripe and white roof. The ex-fire chief vehicle, which is the brown and white with 3D printed wheels, is just paints that I had in the paint room. Polished up the screens on both of them, done some minor detailing. With the pink one, I did an experiment with a craft paint. I'm happy with it for now, but I may change it at some time in the future. It's not perfect, it has a few issues, but I wanted to do an experiment with some acrylic craft paint, and it's more operator error, old fart error that is, as opposed to being a problem with the paint. So anyway, as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, if I can do it, so can you. And most likely you can do it a lot better than me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like. Most importantly, leave a comment down below. Just say hi. Right? Just so I know that you're out there. Right? And also, you'll probably recognise that we've changed the channel name slightly. As opposed to being Gravesend Australia Diecast Salvage, we're now Diecast Salvage Gravesend Australia. Just changing the words around a little bit. Maybe we might get some more viewers. Again, this is just an experiment, and hopefully I can remember to say it in my upcoming videos. I still have a few other videos that they're in the works being edited, that still have Welcome to Gravesend Australia Diecast Salvage. But again, new channel name, new year. What could possibly go wrong? Anyway, like I said, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you next time at Diecast Salvage Gravesend Australia. See you there.